Divorce happens. In fact, it happens to almost 50% of first marriages. So let's talk about it. Welcome to Divorce Happens, a podcast to educate, inspire, support, and yes, make you laugh through divorce and beyond so that you can start fresh on the next phase of your journey. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh.
You get divorced. You get divorced.
Getting divorced?
I'm getting a divorce.
You're getting a divorce.
Because she's getting a divorce.
So what if I get divorced?
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Divorce Happens, the podcast where we support you before, during, and after divorce with education, inspiration, a little bit of laughter, because as we know, divorce happens and then you start fresh. And we're here with our friend Vanessa. Vanessa, can you tell us a little bit about who you are?
Hi, Olivia. Thank you so much for having me. Yes. Hi, everyone. My name is Vanessa. I am the CEO and publisher of East End Taste. It's a digital sustainable travel and food publication based in the Hamptons on Long Island. I'm also the founder of the annual summer event series, the Hamptons Interactive Brunch.
We love it. Well, we're big Hamptons fans. I grew up in the summers in East Hampton a little bit, so
Nice.
I love the Hamptons. Okay, Vanessa, I'm super excited to chat with you today because one of the things that we love to do on this podcast is talk about what we've learned from our divorce. So you are currently going through a divorce, and I would love to hear what 3 things have you learned in this process?
Absolutely. So I will tell you this. I've never seen perhaps an industry or an entity, so to say, where there are so many rumors and just false statements and claims and such. Oh, that if you're married to somebody, very well, you're going to get a lot of money. Oh, that the courts favor the mother. It's all a lot. It's nonsense. So it goes, remember, the laws go state by state, and really what it all boils down to is the law. Nothing else, nothing about morality, nothing. It's the law. So a good example, one thing too, is that I thought originally that it could be presented as naturally as someone who's divorcing someone who's very wealthy, whose family's very wealthy, that there would be perhaps a constituent or an argument of some kind of being used to a certain lifestyle. Now, I must emphasize, there's a reason why I will just say I'm getting a divorce. For me, the grass truly is greener on the other side. If it truly was about the money and the assets and everything, why would I leave?
Yeah.
It's way more than that. And I, perhaps don't necessarily want to delve into it because it's very personal, but I'm leaving for all the right reasons. And it was a long time coming. But with that being said, is based on New York state law, just because I was perhaps used to a certain lifestyle, that's not necessarily going to be the case when the divorce is finalized. But I'm totally fine with that because, I'll tell you this is, even though it's going to be tougher, I'm going to be a better, stronger individual. And the one thing that's interesting is that I'm getting a lot of feedback from friends of mine of, why didn't you start saving money? Why didn't you start preparing? Why didn't you do this, that, and the other thing? Yes, you can do that. But are you truly in a frame or a state of mind to do that when you're so quote unquote happily married, when you're in this bliss and in this way or lifestyle? You're not thinking about that. And it's also extremely hard. Even the thought and the act of putting money away, putting cash away, even though things were tough throughout the marriage, I felt a true sense of guilt, like I was stealing, not only from my husband, but my family, my children. And I couldn't do that. I could not do that, could not take things away.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't do it.
For sure. Nobody goes into marriage with the intent of getting divorced, right? So you're not thinking your whole marriage, well, I should be saving for a divorce also, just in case, right? But this is why we need to talk about this, right? And normalize this and say to young women, hey, you might be getting married at 22. Maybe just have a bank account that's yours, right? That you can start to put some money in and having these conversations in a much broader sense. Okay, so that's a good number one. What's the second thing that you've learned here, Vanessa?
Yeah, the second thing I will tell you this is it was speaking of money. My situation is very unique in the sense that we never built any marital assets together. Why is that? Because I went into a marriage where my husband already had a home in trust for him multiple trust fund accounts, investment accounts, all in his name, and property in his name, beautiful homes, et cetera, et cetera. But that's not mine. That's his. And the one thing, that I did, and it was because my brother was the one who told me to do it, was start a Roth IRA and a traditional IRA and other investment accounts. And thank goodness I did that when I was in my mid 20s. So any sort of and remember too, is you could put that in trust to your children. So for instance, my daughter is going to be the custodian.
Beneficiary, beneficiary.
That's right, beneficiary of one. My son is of another. So that made me feel good.
Yep.
And the third thing is remember again, there's a difference between the law and morale. You may hear, oh, when I got divorced, and of course, it depends state by state. So for New York City, you might hear people, oh, well, I got the house, I got this, I got this car, and I got these payouts. I'm telling you, that's more than likely because of morale, or they went to court and spent a lot of money on legal fees. No one's going to share that. I believe no one's going to share how much money they're spending on legal fees. And I'm telling you, the legal fees are high. I've spent already 15,000 plus in legal fees.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, my divorce was a mediation, and it was like $20,000. So that was out of court. It was $20,000. So I very much understand that. And I want to go back to one thing you said too, Vanessa, which is we also, as women, don't talk about money. Right. And so the fact that you said your brother had to tell you to open the Roth IRA, that was a similar situation in my case. I had a family member tell me to do it too.
Yeah.
And it was like, we just don't talk about this stuff, and we need to be talking about these things. So I appreciate you sharing that.
That's right too. And I also want to say to people, remember right now, people are going to be sharing things with you that you may not want to hear. I'm getting a lot of tough love lately from close friends and family. I was so upset with because I'm just being one of my close family friends, known her my whole life. She was texting me after news. She said, Vanessa, what are you posting a photo of you drinking champagne, lying on the bed with your robe half open? You don't know who's watching that. And I'm like, and I was looking at the text message, like kind of like in a daze. Yeah, the next afternoon, going, oh, shut up, please. Let me be my host self for a little bit. Give me a break,
You're allowed.
But be careful. Just be careful what you put. You don't know, you don't, yeah, I think about it. And I've learned and come to realize that there are people from my children's school who follow me, including teachers and my daughter's therapist and the social worker. So
you know what?
We
all need our moments. We all have our moments, but yes, be careful. I think, and that's honestly when I have a girlfriend come to me to say she's going to get divorced or considering divorce. That is my number one thing: is be careful what you put on social media, right? And not that you did anything wrong, because you're adorable and you're allowed to post gorgeous pictures of yourself. But I think that but as a general message, just be mindful, because anything can be used against you, and people don't realize. And I say this almost on every episode: anything can be subpoenaed into the court during trials. So you don't want your ex-husband going through your Instagram and screenshotting everything and bringing it up. But it's a lot to process, right? And that's kind of what the key here is, like, between the legal stuff and the parenting stuff, and it's so much. So Vanessa, where have you gotten support during this process?
So, where have I gotten support? Well, I will say this. I am truly grateful for the many, many friends, colleagues who have come to show my support, who have been an ear for me. I mean, I'd be here all day listing everyone, but I hope you all know that I am extraordinarily grateful. And it's also too, I want to make sure, keeping my dignity, so to say, because I'm getting the question, where are you going to go? Where are you going to live? Like I'm almost some sort of a, it's I'll be fine. I know that I'll be okay. But this is one of the toughest things I've ever done, but I'm definitely doing the right thing, because man, am I seeing the true colors of the other side, I'll just say.
Yeah. And divorce is the second most stressful thing that people go through, next to death. So it's not surprising that it's a lot. So that being said, if somebody's going through a divorce and listening to this, Vanessa, what would be some words of encouragement that you could leave them with?
You filed for a reason. Don't question yourself. Do not question yourself. Please, if this has been building up inside you, and it's coming from someone who retained an attorney into 2023, felt guilt because of oh, my poor family, my husband, this, that, and the other thing, and I truly felt guilt, and I pulled out of it. There's a reason why you're doing this. This is not a gut react. This is not a quick reaction. So remember, please, it's making me realize too what perhaps I'm capable of as an individual. Remember, I was with this man since I was 18 years old. Being single for the first time in my adult life, that's a whole other story for another day. But it's actually learned, like, I actually had a crippling fear that I would never find anyone else. Why would anyone everything, you name it? Telling you, that's nonsense. And when people say there's no one out there, that's a lie.
Yeah.
It's a lie. Don't believe it.
No, because you're worthy, and you're worthy of the fresh start, and you're worthy of a beautiful life. And that's the most important part of all of this. Well, where can people find your beautiful work that you do?
Oh gosh, thank you so much. Yes, so you can find me eastendtastemagazine.com, East End Taste on most major social media platforms. My personal Instagram is Vanessa P. Gordon, and you're always welcome to just reach out if you have any questions, or do you even just want to share your story, or just have an ear. I'm here. Please.
I love that so much. Well, we appreciate you and your honesty, and I know that this and all the lessons that you just shared with us will be really important for a lot of people to hear. So thank you so much for being here, Vanessa.
Always. Thank you for having me.
Divorce Happens is produced by Fresh Starts Registry, the only divorce registry platform for everything you need to begin again, including home items, hype team, and everything in between. Remember, divorce happens, and then we start fresh. We're here to support you before, during, and after divorce. Head to freshstartsregistry.com for more info.